Hey everybody, Brian here with BPS Customs, and today what we're going to do is we're going to take this mild-mannered Manta Mini system and we're going to turn it into an 8-threaded gaming and video editing beast. If you guys watch my previous videos, and I know that I've made a couple on this Manta case already, you know that I put this system together kind of on a whim. I had the parts and I had the case, and I decided to see what I could do with this system with some water cooling inside. I did sell this to a client, and the client does a lot of video editing. Now, video editing is very CPU intensive, and the 6600K that's in here, while sufficient, is not something that you generally want for somebody who's going to be using this mainly as a video editing system. For video editing, more cores and more threads are ideal. Now, you generally would aim for an X99 system, but as it turns out, this little guy right here, the 6700K, is actually a pretty decent processor for video editing, as it does have 4 cores and is hyper-threaded. So you're running 8 threads on this Skylake platform chip. So today we're going to put the 6700K into the Manta. We're also going to replace the 970 with a 980 Ti for the additional CUDA cores. And then we're going to add 2 gigs of hard disk space for storage of video files. It already has a 240 gig SSD in it. It should be sufficient for the operating system and for a small scratch disk. So the first thing we're going to need to do, as we have done before in this previous video, is drain the loop, get everything prepped and ready, and then start swapping out some components. right, so we're all done with the Manta. Now, I didn't really show you a whole lot of the build process, just basically the beginning part where I was disassembling and draining the loop and whatnot. Just because you've seen it before, I've done videos on it before. The system now, because I used another reference style cooler NVIDIA card, looks basically identical to the way it looked before. The only difference is now that it has a 6-pin and an 8-pin PCIe connector instead of 2 6-pins. So besides that, everything is actually exactly the same inside. So we're not going to go over how everything looks. But performance-wise, I was able to run a few benchmarks. I installed Cinebench, I installed Metro Last Light, and I installed Valley. And as you can see, the benchmark numbers are awesome. I was able to get a decent overclock out of this chip, but I did not push it. 6700Ks have been shown and regularly do get up to 4.8 gigahertz because they come out of the box clocked at 4 gigahertz. They're very power efficient, and when you put them on water, you know, you could do a whole lot of stuff with them. So. But I didn't want to push it. This is built for a client. I didn't want him to be running into any issues down the road. So we kept it at 4.4 gigahertz, which is a stable, like rock solid stable, fairly mild overclock that will get him certainly some additional performance. For the GPU, we went with plus 125 on the core and plus 150 on the memory. It's gonna give a nice performance bump without really pushing things too hard. Temps, as you can see here, were perfectly within the range of acceptability. The hottest core got up to 52 degrees Celsius. GPU leveled out well below where you know, you consider to be thermal throttling, and I think that the system is going to run really smoothly and last a real long time and put in a lot of good work for this client. So that's a wrap, I guess. You know, this has been a pretty short video, but I didn't want to take up everybody's time with another Manta build. But the next things that are coming up is I have my second budget system, because that's kind of by popular demand. That's going to be a sub $500 AMD based system. I also have another video coming out very shortly regarding a situation that I got involved with frozen CPU. So take a look for that on the channel. But get subscribed, hit the like button, that really helps me out, and look for me on Twitter on BPS_customs. But until the next video, as always, thanks for watching.